Cool. Okay, welcome to That's a Latte Film with your hosts, Rebecca and Erica. On this podcast, we will talk about some of our unpopular opinions on some popular films. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and join us. Yes, I have mine too.
Disclaimer, mine's water. Mine's definitely water.
We know. Quick disclaimer. Some of the films we discuss may be explicit. We will try our best to keep it PG, but please beware before you watch the films. Okay. So, yeah, mine is not water. Mine is Bustelo, for those of you who are Hispanic.
Real Hispanic over there, ba.
Today, I didn't have any sugar.
You're just drinking straight up coffee?
No. However, I remember the other day, I told Theo Ricardo because they had run out of sugar. And I was like, but I mean, do we need sugar? Like, is that necessary? And he was just like, no, we don't.
You just put milk?
We'll just put milk, no sugar, and it's beautiful. There's just the flavor of the coffee itself.
Couldn't be me. Absolutely could not be me.
Coffee will understand. It's just beautiful.
Now water is where it's at because nobody wants to drink coffee. So water, the way that water drinkers will understand that water is like crisp, hydration in the nation,
Crisp. I mean, I understand that at 3:00 in the morning. When you wake up, you're so thirsty.
Yes. My friend Victoria, she has emergency waters. Like, she'll have it on next to her bed in her bedstand. And she'll be like, I have my emergency water. A lot of times it's an emergency, soda. But she definitely has emergency water. Yeah.
Emergency soda?
Emergency soda can. Anyway. Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's just crack it open, chug it. Okay.
So today, I decided, since I didn't have any sugar, I would put a couple of spoonfuls of maple syrup in it. And so good. And creamer.
Is it?
Of course. But.
What? So then why
no sugar? It's creamer with no sugar.
Okay. I was like, so you added sugar on top of your creamer.
No. I'm not trying to diet.
Okay, heard. Oh, but I just want to let everybody know that Erica did learn how to make a grilled cheese. She did send me the picture the day afterwards. I don't know how it's been since then.
So we stepped up the game because I got tired of regular bread. And I was like, I changed up my sandwich options. So I started doing bagels and started toasting the bagels and having grilled cheese with a bagel instead.
Interesting.
It was
chef's kiss, yeah.
Yes, chef's kiss. So good. But I did not burn it because I actually used a sandwich maker this time.
Okay.
So,
See.
I'm not confident in my ability to make a grilled cheese on the stove, though.
Not yet. You're in beginner mode.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? We're gonna take out the stress of me burning my sandwich in the morning, and we're just gonna put it right into the sandwich maker.
Just normal things. Not knowing how to make grilled cheese, all the things. Survive.
Right. Like one of our friends, Louis from TOC, Melissa's husband. He commented and was just like, you need to work on it. Like, you need to work on the grilled cheese.
You need to work on it.
He's like, let's focus on the grilled cheese part. He was like, very entertaining. I love this. So I was like, I appreciate it. But I was like, I'm gonna work on the grilled cheese. I promise. And then he's talked about people use mayo to grill it, and he said that he's heard it's actually very good.
I don't really like mayonnaise as a concept.
Really?
Like, yeah, like I just think it's gross. You know, like I just don't think I should be used on anything. It gives me the heebie-jeebies mayonnaise because it's just like I feel like it's just a lot of fat in a jar. So it just gives me the heebie-jeebies. So like when people are like, "You want mayonnaise?" No, I don't want any mayonnaise on my sandwich. I don't want extra fat.
Hey, that's like me and the butter though.
No, you see butter. I know, like it's like milk and you turn it, all that stuff. But mayonnaise?
Isn't it made with like eggs or something?
I think it's eggs. Yeah.
Weird.
And I just simply, it gives me, I can't. And especially like when they put it in like they put it in potato salad and like all that. And I don't like potato salad. I don't like egg salad. I don't like any of that. So, and like tuna salad, chicken salad, it's full of mayonnaise and I don't like it.
I love
like
all of it.
No, I hate all of it.
I love it. So good.
Those are the things I don't like. Some of the stuff.
Wow. Well, anyway, moving on. So today's movie of choice was The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So found out that it's actually a short story first.
I honestly thought you were gonna say it was a true story, and I was gonna be like, "There's no way. There's no way this is a true story."
I would not even believe them if they said that to me. I'd be like,
"Yeah." So I was like, "Is she about to say this is a true story? Really?"
No.
Word?
No. It's a short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald, the same one.
The Great Gatsby.
And it's only like 30 something pages long.
Oh, really? It's only 30 something pages long, but this movie is 2+ hours.
2+ hours.
I had to, so I was watching it. I watched the first part with my boyfriend. I got an hour and a half in and I fell asleep. And I was like, I gotta watch another hour and 45 minutes of this movie.
Yes, it's
I had a whole hour and 45 minutes left. And it was not necessary for it to be that long.
No, not at all. Like, again, just like Scarface with the montages, unnecessary. Okay.
There's a specific montage in my head that I feel like, why am I still watching the movie? Why is it still going on?
Right.
You know?
It's so long. So I was like, when I heard that it was only 30-something pages long, I was like, thank you, F. Scott Fitzgerald, for understanding that this story did not need to be a long story. And I bet you that the actual short story is probably 10 times better than the movie, because that's how it always is. But like, anyway. So let me talk. Let's give the summary, okay? So if you haven't heard of it, it has Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
Brad Pitt and I can't remember her name now, but it's fine. Born under unusual circumstances, Benjamin Button, Brad Pitt, springs into being as an elderly man in a New Orleans nursing home and ages in reverse. 12 years later, after his birth, he meets Daisy, a child who flickers in and out of his life as she grows up to be a dancer. Cate Blanchett. Okay, there we go.
Okay, yeah.
Though he has all sorts of unusual adventures over the course of his life, it is his relationship with Daisy and the hope that they will come together at the right time that drives Benjamin forward.
Right. You know what this movie gave me vibes of?
What?
It gave me Forrest Gump vibes. Because it made me equally as angry.
Yes.
It made me just equally mad. So like this movie gave me those kind of vibes.
That's true, because it's like narrated by him pretty much the whole movie, unless the actual scene is taking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
his, he had very unfortunate
circumstances happen in his life.
Here's my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So Benjamin is born old, right?
Yes.
Why? Why was he the specific one to be born old? Like I know I had because there was a clock that was put up. Whose son died during the war, right? So the guy made a clock, but he put it in reverse.
Yes.
So that it would like bring back like in honor of the guys who died in war.
Yeah, it's like bring them back home.
But why specifically did Benjamin? Why was he the only baby who was affected by this clock? Apparently, why was he the only baby born old?
That's a very good question. Like, okay, we're gonna get there. Let's do characters first. Okay, let's start.
Okay.
So we have Benjamin, we have Daisy, we have Queenie. Yeah, Queenie's his mom. Well, his adopted mom.
Yeah.
You start out the movie with his biological parents, which is outrageous. Like, the poor kid, like, he didn't choose to be born this way. This gives me the Penguin vibes from the Batman movie. Like, he didn't choose to be born with his hands like this.
Like this. Like just like stuck to his sides and he waddles around.
He didn't choose that life, and yet the parents were like, "You're disgusting. You're ugly, and we just can't. Our reputation is too important for this, or whatever." So literally tosses him out into the street in front of Queenie's house. So that's how Queenie, well, I guess, her house, but she also takes care of elderly people and the nursing home. Yeah. So
she's in charge of the nursing home. Yeah.
Yeah. So like she's like very important in that area. So he ends up like just at the front on the stairs, and
it's not even like he like it was down the street. His mother died Benjamin's mother died during childbirth, right? So then the father sees the baby, thinks he's so ugly, gets just so angry, grabs him and runs across town. And just drops him in front of Queenie's house, like on the stairs. Just drops him on the staircase.
Not even to the police.
No.
I mean, I guess it was kind of nice that he was like, let me give him to someone that will take care of him or something.
But he didn't know that. He just literally saw a back staircase and said,
That's the
perfect place for a baby. Our baby's gonna go there? Yes.
In the cold. It's fine.
Yeah. And then poor Benjamin got stepped on. I was like, how is he not hurt?
Right. An old man?
He stepped on him with like all his body weight.
Yeah.
He literally stepped on him.
I'm like, this man should have very fragile bones.
He was born old.
He was born.
He got osteoporosis. Yeah, like no bone structure. He's just falling apart.
He should not have been okay. So I don't know how that was a thing, but like so I thought the characters were okay in the movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's the actors also. So I will say that like the acting job in this movie was not terrible, because I mean it's Brad Pitt. He's an amazing actor, I think. And
Brad Pitt.
No, not until he turned like, he was like in his 40s. You're finally.
Yeah.
Whew, okay.
The Brad Pitt I was waiting for. The entire movie.
Not the old and wrinkly Brad Pitt, that's kind of off-putting the whole time.
Yeah.
But like, and Kate Blanchett, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. And I think she played Daisy really, really well. So like, that was cool. And Queenie is Taraji P. Henson. Yeah, that's the name, right? Yeah. And oh man, I don't know this. He plays Mr. Wheeler, The one.
Oh, he's really well known.
Yeah, but his name is so long.
Yeah.
We're gonna try.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
My only thing with these characters,
Okay.
like with Brad Pitt, okay, because he plays an old man, right? The South. They're in New Orleans, so they're they have accents, but the way they were talking was making me so angry because it seemed so strange and so like you know it's fake. So it was making me real upset. I was just like, do better. Just do better. Yeah.
The way they were talking?
Yeah. The way they were talking, it was just like, I don't believe you. Yeah. I don't believe that you're from the South, Oh. But Queenie did a good job.
Yeah, Queenie, yeah. Taraji was good, really good. Yeah. And I think that might have been the start of her career too, because I don't think she was really well known at this point. Yeah. But yeah, so it was Mahershala Ali. Mahershala. And his name was not Mr. Weathers. It was Tizzy.
It was Wheeler.
Tizzy Wheeler.
Okay.
Like Mr. Wheeler, but his name was Tizzy.
Yeah.
Interesting. But yeah. So they had a very good cast, I will say.
They did.
Very good.
Like even the captain I just remember him from Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, I was like, I was trying to figure it out for so long. I was like, where is he from?
But the lady in the hotel room is the witch from Narnia.
Chronicles of Narnia. So like their cast was top notch cast.
Yeah,
like
they set this movie up. They did set this movie up for.
And I think what probably happened was like they knew that this story was by F. Scott Fitzgerald. He's an amazing, writer. So they probably like all attached that idea to him. Oh, this is gonna be, amazing. And I would love to hear their outlook, like their opinion on the movie too. Like, yes, they were in it. Of course, they're going to be biased a little bit because they want you to watch it. But like, I want to know their honest opinion. Like,
they probably were like, it took too long to film.
Right. It should have been an hour and a half. Tops
an hour and 45. Tops.
Yeah.
But it was almost 3 hours.
Yeah. For so many montages. And like, I want to read the short story because I really want to know what did they add to it, that they felt needed to be in there. Like, you know what I mean? But again, cast, excellent.
But yeah, character-wise, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
They were stacked up.
Bad. Now.
Yeah.
Plot holes in this movie. The first plot hole that I want to discuss, okay, because I was just watching it just now, just to kind of like, have it fresh in my head. Uh-huh. And I want to know, because he gets dropped off at the nursing home as a baby, right? Yeah. Like he's in baby form. So I'm like, but the next scene, like after she introduces him to all the people at the nursing home and to the doctor and everything, and they're like, oh, he's explaining that he has cataracts as a baby and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. The next scene, he's a full-grown like child, like but in a wheelchair, and I'm like, he looks like such an old man already, and I'm like, I feel like I just want to know, they didn't give us like times in between. Like, how long has it been since he was a baby? Like, is he 5 now? Is he like, how old is he? Because I'm confused. How did he go from a baby to this size? And then like he goes throughout his entire life, gets, he turns young, but like he's getting taller, obviously, because he's getting younger. But then they're telling us that he's gonna reverse and he's gonna be a baby again.
Right. My issue with that is that the same thing. Like, you don't know how much time has passed to the point where he changes shape. Like, is it that he went to bed one day and he was like this size? up the next day and he was taller and an old man? Like, is that what it was? Like, it would just
Right.
randomly change, like, sizes and forms and have more hair or, like, look younger. That would happen overnight. Like, when we grow and, like, normal. Like, we're little, but it takes years for us to get bigger and, like, grow older. But with this man, it was, like, next thing, whole different, like, age. Whole different, like,
Yeah.
whole different age, whole different part of his life, you know. Like, it wasn't that, like, he was a baby, then he was a toddler, yet he was old, then he was a, you know. But no, he was like maybe 7, and he was already like older and in a wheelchair, walking.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, that confused me so much. I was like, okay, so I don't know. Like, I don't know how this makes any sense with the timing, whatever. So like that was a big thing for me. And then what else was I thinking? He like there's so, there's so much I have in my head right now. I can't even like I don't know. I thought the dialogue in the movie too was very like okay. Do you remember the scene in the movie like he goes to take Daisy out on a date, like I think this was like the first ever date they had gone on.
So by this point he's already like he's grown older yet he's younger already.
Yeah, he's like, well,
how old is she? How old is she?
She was like in her early 20s.
So then he's around like already. He's not as young as her because remember they met in the middle. So he's around like in his 40s maybe.
That's the other thing too. The whole like when they met finally at the age of like 40 something.
He was 49 and she was 43.
Yeah. Like and I was like interesting. So like
they were 6 years apart. So when he met her, she was 6.
She was 6.
And he was 12.
Yeah.
He was an old man still.
Right.
It was really confusing. I was like, how old is this man? And I know he's old, but I know he has a child brain.
I was like, how is this okay? Like, this is not okay.
Real sus. Because he would, he first met Daisy when she was 6. He's 12, but he's an old man. But he's 12 here. But he's an old man, right?
Yeah.
So, like, she, like, was into him when he was an old man. Like, they were best friends. It was real sus. Because, like, he met her, and then like she went to go wake him up in the middle of the night and be like, "Come on, come downstairs or whatever." And I was like, "Ma'am,
like,
oh no." Like, and like then he follows her downstairs. He doesn't know better. He's 12. He doesn't know better. Right. He follows her downstairs. They go under the table. She lights a candle and they're just talking. And she goes, "I'll tell you a secret if you tell me one." I was like, "Ma'am, you don't go under tables with men, under restrained men."
Exactly.
But poor Benjamin, because he doesn't know. He's a kid. He's a whole grown man body.
But I'm like, did she know? I mean, I don't know.
Right. And then he goes, "I'm not as old as I look." And she's like, "I knew it. You don't seem like an old man." Like, everybody just thought it was so normal for this man to be aging backwards. Like, nobody wanted to, like, scientifically figure out why he was aging backwards. Everybody was just like, oh, it's just a miracle.
Yeah, they never really made it a big deal. They were kind of just like, oh, yeah, that's Benjamin. Like, oh, how are you, Benjamin? Like, I mean, okay. I guess I get it because, like, if you met somebody who was, you know, like they had a disease or something, you wouldn't point it out. I guess, like, you would try to treat them like a normal person. Like, like I kind of get it. Like, you want to, you know, build that friendship and be a nice person, but also,
like, no, but this isn't a normal one. This one was like scary. Like, this is aging backwards. He was born old and now he's just getting younger each day.
Yeah.
How would you not want to scientifically figure that out? How would you not? Like, how would everybody just think like, oh, he's sick?
Right. And the mom was just like Queenie was just like,
It's
oh,
a miracle.
just thank the Lord for every day that you have, whatever. And
I'd have been like, what?
Longer.
Why?
Like, can
Why
you
like that?
Like when she brings him to the healing service, let me tell you something.
He said, stand and walk.
When she was like, I can't have children, whatever. So he starts praying for her and throws her basically across the room. I was like, wow.
And then he's like, what's your problem, young man? To Benjamin, he's like, I can't walk. I'm old. And he's like, walk. And he won't let anybody help him, and he falls. They just leave him there.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
I was like, oh, dang. I was like, just making us look crazy again.
Yeah, hello.
One more time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, wow. I mean, they're not totally off because, you know, that would happen. That would happen.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so the scene that Kate Blanchett and Brad Pitt, they're in the city and she goes to some like, what do you call it? Like some structure.
Oh my goodness, what is it called? I know what you're talking about. It's like when you go to a park and they have like these little benches, but it's like on a platform.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my gosh, what are they called?
It has like an arc of some kind. Like I'll
figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, she takes off her shoes and just starts dancing.
Okay. Talking randomly. Like she finishes dancing and like she had like bent back randomly. She had to like and just like lean this way. She was just like you know, just started talking and I was like you. What is literally wrong with you?
Benjamin's face was the most realistic part of it because like he's like
like why are you dancing in the middle of art?
Like what's happening? And the dialogue, the things that she was saying, I was like, I do not understand.
Here we go. I know exactly what she was saying. She was talking about how in New York in ballet, like she was like, you know, the people who want to sleep with me are lesbians. And I was just like,
what?
Why are you telling him that? I don't understand.
This is the part that she leans in to kiss him.
Yeah, she was like, does that make you mad that people want to sleep with me? And he goes, you're a very desirable girl. I'm sure many people want to sleep with you. He was just like, okay. And she kisses him and like just trying to seduce him after she just randomly danced in the middle of a park in front of God and everybody. Just like literally just dancing and like weird dancing too. There's no music. There's no music going on.
And that I was laughing so much during that scene because I was thinking the exact same thing. Like right now they're playing music because it's a movie. But if this happened in real life, like she would be dancing to absolutely no music. And he would just be standing there watching her.
You probably hear the wood creaking. And she's just
lifting her leg up all the way to the sky. I was like,
yeah, and then bending all the way back. The part where she just bends all the way back to go on the floor.
She's looking straight at him, like,
yeah. And then just start talking about lesbians and wanting to sleep with her. And then that she wants to go sleep with him. And he's just like, no, Dave, no. And then she gets so offended.
He was so mad. And I was like, this is the first date.
She's like, I'm old enough for this, and I'm old enough for this. Man, you could be old enough. Don't mean you gotta do it. Dang.
Right. I was like, wow, Benjamin, respect.
Yeah, respect for Benjamin. Then he goes, he's like, opportunities are lost. They are lost. Like he regretted it immediately because now he's all butthurt.
She was so mad.
Yeah.
But also, she was being so weird. Like,
she was being real Open.
Yeah.
Real open.
What would you do? Like, if some person just started dancing in front of you
with no music? Is it a pavilion? Is that the word?
I think that is the word.
Pavilion.
If you got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that part had me done. Like I was
that set me. I was watching it like fine, and I literally started laughing so hard. I was like, this woman is dancing in the middle of the pavilion with no music at nighttime, and Benjamin's just sitting there watching her.
Didn't even engage at all. He was like,
no.
Maybe that was the point. Maybe they were trying to make us feel weird because like
it was just awkward situation.
It was just awkward.
Yeah, I guess so.
They could have tried other ways to show us.
And what killed me, here's a plot hole. Why the heck did she come back to the nursing home at all? Like her grandma wasn't there anymore.
Right.
So like
she was there to visit Queenie?
Like, because the only reason she was there just visit Queenie, I guess, and then Benjamin happened to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he had just come back because he went away to war or whatever.
Right.
So this movie, here's the thing. I feel like people are going to be confused. But the thing is, watching this movie is so confusing.
Yeah. There's because, no, real
timeline, I feel like. Quick timeline, Benjamin is born. He's born old. He gets put on in a nursing home, and he grows up with Queenie. Then, as he grows older, he meets Daisy. He meets her when she's 6. He's 12. He then grow up together. They're friends, whatever. He then goes away randomly.
Yeah.
He randomly leaves.
How or when.
Yeah, he just says, and I went at the age of 17. I left. He leaves.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, at the age of 17.
Write me everywhere you go.
Yeah. And she's like, now I think she's like 12 or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And like, he leaves, he goes on a tugboat and starts working on a boat.
Yeah.
And
with the guy who played Moriarty?
Moriarty in Sherlock Holmes. I don't remember his name. He's a good actor though.
Yeah.
So like he goes on this tugboat, he starts working on there, he becomes a sailor, ends up in Russia. He stays in this hotel, meets this lady in a hotel, like he couldn't sleep one night, goes downstairs, they start meeting, she's married, they start meeting every night, having tea, talking this, or having an affair. Randomly, she leaves, right?
Yes,
then yes, yeah, just leaves. She says, "Glad to have met you." Literally, that's all she wrote here. Then he leaves. Then the boat gets commissioned for the Navy, so they get caught in a war. Everybody on the ship basically dies. Benjamin goes home, and then Daisy comes home. They go on the date. Daisy tries to seduce him. He doesn't. He simply does not vibe. So he then leaves, and then so we're caught up to there. There you go.
Yeah.
We're caught up to when they're on the date.
Pretty much what happens.
And yet, that's the first hour and a half of that movie.
There's still so much.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna go through all of it.
No.
But
I will make sure y'all understood what happened in this movie. Because there's so much that happened. It just didn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make sense at all. I don't know. And it's you can tell the movie was probably very expensive to make because it's like it did not look like a low budget film. And I think it's a Paramount picture, I believe. No, Warner Brothers.
I don't remember.
It might be both. But yeah. So I'm like, there's no way this was a low budget film. And all the cast that was in that movie too.
Yeah.
That was expensive. So I'm like, for it to have been that, like, it was visually very appealing. But then when you go, and you try to figure out the actual story, I'm like,
yeah,
they couldn't have tried a little bit more to make this make sense. Like, just a little bit. Like, there were a lot of plot holes. We're not going to go through all of it, but it was very confusing.
Okay. So then, right? Another plot hole. when Benjamin is on the boat with that guy, the captain, when he's
Mm-hmm.
working with the captain on the boat, and like the captain asked him if he had ever slept with a woman. Benjamin's like no, but at this time Benjamin looks like an old man. So the captain's like, so you're this old. You're an old man and you've never been with a woman. So they go to like this, this place with a whole bunch of women who people for money,
Yes.
and Benjamin sleeps with the women, whatever. His father, right? His biological father, out of one of the rooms when Benjamin's leaving, sees Benjamin, and I guess like from a sign from above says, "Oh, that's my son." Like he literally like okay, like Benjamin's walking, and the father comes down the stairs and walks around and sees Benjamin, and Benjamin keeps walking, but the father looks at him and then just follows him.
Yes, and then from that moment on, it's like, can I?
That's my son.
He goes,
That's my son.
Would you be okay if I come visit you every once in a while? And Benjamin's just like, yeah, sure. Like, no.
So he pulls up next to Benjamin walking down the street. And it's like, can I give you a ride or whatever? And Benjamin's like, that's really kind of you. And then like he just knew that was his son. Like this is a big plot hole because at this time Benjamin's an old man.
Yes.
So why would a young man, like his father's maybe around like 40 something?
Yeah.
Why would he look at Benjamin, who at that time looks like he's 80 something, and be like, that's my son?
Right. Like
he's older than you.
Like, yeah, like he doesn't really even know him at all.
I don't know how that was one plot hole that really made me mad. I was like, how did you know that was your son?
That is so I'm glad you said that because I don't think I saw that. Like I saw when he went to with the women, but like I didn't see when they like had their first like exchange.
Yeah. He literally walked out of the room, saw Benjamin walking by, and then pulled up next to him in the street, said, you want to ride? And then went to go drink with Benjamin. They got drunk or whatever.
Right.
And then when he dropped Benjamin off, he was like, would you mind me coming like
to visit,
coming by or whatever? And from then on, like just came by and visited or whatever.
Yeah. Never said anything.
Until like the end of the movie.
And I love the part that he goes he's about to expose himself and say like, this is who I am, whatever. But he's just showing him around, like he just brings him to his business and to his home, and he's like, yeah, my family has owned this for generations, and we sell buttons or whatever. And Benjamin literally goes, what do you want?
What do you want from me?
Like, why are you telling me this? He's like, I honestly do not care. Is basically what he said.
Like, can I go home or like?
Can I help you?
Why do I care about your button factory? Like, cause he's standing in the corner with his hands in his pockets, looks so uninterested, and he was just like, what do you want from me, Mr. Button? Like, what do you want? Why are you telling me about your family tree? And he just goes, I'm your father, Benjamin. And Benjamin just stands there like,
he looks so angry. Like he had that face like, you've literally been seeing me all this time and you didn't think to mention it. Like,
and because he tells him when he's dying.
Yeah. So they couldn't.
He's like, I'm leaving everything to you. Yeah.
That was wild, but that part made me laugh so hard because I was like, wow, relatable. That is relatable.
What do you want from me?
If somebody was showing me around their whole life, I'd probably be like,
what do you want?
Did you get here? Like, what is going on?
Do you need something or can I go? Like, can I go?
Can I go home? I'm bored.
Yeah. That was one big plot hole that really made me mad because I was like, how did you know that was your son?
Yeah.
Once again, there's no DNA test. There's no science in this movie. I don't understand why Benjamin is growing so young. Yeah, there's no science to prove anything that happened in this movie. So like, how did you know that was your son? How did you look at him across a literal house where people just have sex all the time. Be like, that's my son. Yet he's older than.
Yeah, I feel like there were certain things they focused way more on that they didn't have, but things like that where it's like, well, how did his father find him again? That could have been a very important piece. Like I would
like maybe he had been looking for him or something, but no.
Yeah.
And like you're like at that point, like his dad doesn't know that his disease is that he grows younger as he gets older. Yeah. He doesn't know that.
He just thinks he's a monster.
Yeah. So like how do you know? You know.
Exactly.
How would they know?
How would they know? How would they music. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so many. But let's take a break. Okay. We will be right back after this message from our sponsor. Okay, we're back. Okay, so now we're gonna focus in on the effects in this movie, which are very important because they got to go from being old to young and young to old, so that's a big deal. And then we're also gonna talk about some montages that happen. Okay, in this movie. Go ahead, Rebecca.
I have a strong about these montages in these movies because so like I said, Benjamin, what's her name? Daisy. They're at the house together, right? Benjamin rejects Daisy, right? And so at that point, Daisy goes away to ballet school in Paris, and Benjamin is back home. Like he's just living his life, whatever, meeting lots of women, fine.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There is a montage when Daisy's like in Paris and that she's leaving like her dance rehearsal, but Benjamin is explaining the series of events that happened because Daisy gets hit by a car. And Benjamin is explaining a series of events that happened leading up to Daisy getting hit by a car. But he doesn't know that any of this happened. Like, how would you know that happened? And what made me even more crazy, what made me even more mad was that, oh, by the way, this movie is being narrated by Daisy is old and like she's old and she's dying.
Yeah.
In a hospital room. And her daughter is reading a book that Benjamin wrote his life story on.
Right. So this is how we know.
This is how we know what happened. Yes. Because we're hearing a second hand from Benjamin's book that Daisy's daughter is reading Daisy because she's dying. Okay. But Benjamin goes through this whole list of things, and he was like, okay, a lady is leaving her house, but she forgets her coat. She goes back into the house and picks up a phone. And then she hangs up the phone, comes outside to get a taxi. One guy takes her taxi, so she misses it. The taxi driver that comes up to pick her up had stopped to get a cup of coffee.
Yes.
And he went to get and the lady gets in the taxi. They drive over to a chocolate shop. The lady goes into the chocolate shop to pick up some chocolates, but the lady the worker in the chocolate shop didn't package up her chocolates.
Oh my God.
She broke up with her boyfriend. She broke with her boyfriend the night before. And then something to do with Daisy, like with the shoelace, her friend was like Daisy took a shower.
Her shoelace.
Daisy was taking a shower while all this outside was happening. Daisy was in rehearsal, then she went to take a shower. Then she was the last one to get dressed. And then she went to go walk by her friend. Her friend's shoelace broke. Waited for her friend to fix her shoelace. Then Daisy goes outside and starts dancing in the street like a weirdo again.
She can't help herself, apparently.
Yeah. And then she gets by the taxi, right? And then Benjamin goes through it all over again. And but if this guy had gotten up at the right time, and the lady didn't go back, she didn't forget her coat, and if the taxi driver didn't stop for that cup of coffee, and if that lady didn't break up with her boyfriend. We went through two whole montages.
This was probably 5 minutes long.
Two whole montages of Benjamin explaining what happened and what could have happened if it didn't happen, to leading up to Daisy getting hit by a car. That was all it was. Daisy got hit by a car.
That's all it was.
Broke her leg. That's all it was. She shattered her leg. She couldn't dance anymore. But the montages that led up to that were too long.
Yeah.
I didn't need all that. And then Benjamin, how do you know? How do you know that the guy woke up late? How do you know the taxi driver got a cup of coffee? How do you know that lady's shoelace broke? How do you know that lady forgot her coat in her apartment? Like,
because Daisy for sure didn't know.
Daisy didn't know any of that. So that was one of the other things that made me mad. I was like, how do you know? How do you know all this happened?
Like, that's another plot hole. Because that's like the writers. Like, you know that.
Yeah.
But we, like, why are you telling, we don't care. Like,
yeah.
I understand, like, you're probably just trying to tell us, making it this whole moral situation, like, if these things didn't happen, then this couldn't, maybe wouldn't happen to you.
Yeah, you're trying to make us aware that we're a very tiny, tiny part of a big, big machine called the world. I get it.
I get it.
The world keeps moving on. I get it that some things happen for a reason. I get it.
I
get all that.
But I did not need that.
No, I didn't.
Right here. Like, and then it's so anticlimactic because he does the whole montage for him to be like, oh, if this didn't happen, then Daisy would not have been, hit with the car. So she's just over here twirling around, all happy, whatever. And I'm like,
then he goes, but that didn't happen. Daisy didn't get hit by the car. And like, they don't even show Daisy getting hit by the car. They just show her on the floor afterwards with a broken leg.
Like, it would have made sense if the narrator was someone else. Like, if the narrator was someone else looking into the story, that okay. Yeah. But because the narrator was Benjamin, I'm like,
if 2 + 2 is 4. If 5 + 5 is 10.
It was so long. I was like, the fact that they had to they had to hire extras for that scene. Yeah. For that scene that had nothing to do
with anything.
Yeah.
So then, like, Daisy gets hit by the car.
Yeah.
And then Benjamin comes and he visits her in Paris or whatever. And, like, then she tells him to go away. Like, I don't want you here. Like, I don't want you to see me like this. He stays around, looks after her, whatever. Montage number 2 that made me very upset. Benjamin goes to visit Daisy in New York, and he thought he was gonna come and sweep her off her feet, and they were gonna be together forever. But she was already had a boyfriend or whatever. She kind of rejects him. Like, he goes back home, like, whatever, right? Then he comes home. Queenie's finally old. Finally getting older. I felt like Queenie also didn't age that much. And then comes home, and then Daisy comes back, and they get together finally. Daisy and Benjamin are finally together. He takes her away to the Keys, the Gulf Coast. He takes her away to the Keys. They get together. They're dating. They fall in love. Blah 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 blah. And then, like, eventually they buy a house together.
Yeah, the duplex.
Yes. In this house, all they had was a mattress and, like, no furniture. They were painting, but the montage of them in the house, so long, and it was just them on the bed watching TV or having intercourse or painting the house or eating or something. It was just like a long montage of, like, them just being in the house. I was like, why do we need? Like, you could have just been like, you spent all your time in the house. Like, he was like, we made the agreement to never wake up at the same time every day, and to never eat the same food, and never go to sleep at the same time, and stay up whenever we wanted. But the montage was so long. I was like, my goodness.
It was so long. Like, the part that they're eating at the restaurant, and the hurricane is, like, going crazy or whatever, and they just make it a point to, like, have us stay there and watch them eating, and the storm is going crazy. People are running out of the restaurant, and they're like, she says, I bet you I could last out here longer than you or whatever. And I'm like, who cares? Well, no, you cannot. I was like, because first of all, he was on a whole boat in the middle. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's got this way more than you do. Yeah. And I was like, but why do I need this part?
You don't. That's what made me really upset about it. And then another montage that happened is not really that important, but it's a lady that when he was in the hotel and he met the lady on the couch, and they started having an affair or whatever. There was a montage of them meeting every night, and like I get it. I get they meet why do I have this over and over and over and over and over again? I get that he comes downstairs after everybody's asleep in the hotel, which makes me crazy. Because you know that not everybody was asleep in the hotel. You know at the lobby would have some sort of other person in it. But no, it was just him and her, and they would go have tea and talk, and then they started having an affair. Like, you don't think that her husband would know that she's leaving that hotel room every night dressed up?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, every night. Like, not even like every couple of nights. Every single night, she's leaving at a certain time to go and be with this guy and dressed to the full nines. The husband, where is he? I was like, is he there? Maybe that's why she's having an affair. Maybe he's never there. But I was just like, he did not notice, not one day. Like, and they were out all night.
Yeah. But those are the 3 montages that really just.
And you know what? Here's the thing people need to understand, okay? Here's what they need to understand. This movie is just so long for no reason that it makes me mad when movies have montages like this. Because, like, if it was a regular movie that was good, right? Like, the writing was excellent, whatever, I probably wouldn't care so much. Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, you know, like another montage, but it wouldn't be so infuriating to me. But when a movie is so long for no reason at all, I'm just like,
another montage. Another one.
Like, this movie could literally be done right now. We could be done.
Yeah, for real.
So, like,
So by now, Daisy and Benjamin are together. They are in love at this point.
Yes. So thankfully, they do fall in love, and they do have a good life. Does it end very well? No. I don't know. Daisy, I think I should leave it to I think we should maybe let the viewers see how it ends.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. If you haven't seen.
Well, let me just say something. Okay. Montage at the end that makes me really upset. Daisy and Benjamin have a child.
Yes.
Daisy's daughter is Benjamin, but Daisy gets remarried because Benjamin leaves again. He's like, I can't raise this child. I'm
gonna be
old, but I'm getting younger. I'm gonna become a child.
Which
he's like, I can't. Yeah.
Another thing.
And he's like, I can't raise her. I'm gonna be in diapers too. You can't raise both of us. So he leaves. Yeah. Comes back. Sees her. As
a whole teenager.
Yeah. And then like the montage at the end is that he gets younger and younger and younger. And once again, nobody thinks, why is this man getting younger every day? Why is once he was 17 and now he's a toddler?
So quick.
Like, the government doesn't know about this kid. Like, they don't think that, oh, like, this kid could be like an alien or something. You know, like, they constantly be doing experiments. They're not going to take this kid and do experiments on him. He was born 100 years old and now he's dying as a baby.
Exactly.
The anger.
Remember the part that he's like, I don't know, maybe like 7, I don't know, but he's in the nursing home again. Like in our head, he's 7, but he's probably like, I don't know, 80 years old or something.
He's physically 7.
Yeah, physically 7.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's in the kitchen, and they're like trying to calm him down because like he's having a whole fit about.
Yeah, the thing was that he wanted breakfast, but he already ate.
I was dying because I was like, he's a literal old man. I was like,
he has dementia.
He had dementia, but they didn't say that. I don't. Well, no, they had said that already, right?
Yeah.
But I that made me laugh so hard because I was like, he's literally old.
Yeah.
The fact
Another plot hole. Another plot hole. Wait, because Daisy comes to take care of Benjamin once he's a little kid. They call her. They call her because he had already written everything down.
I love how we're giving the ending anyway. We're
sorry.
Like, well, yeah, you should watch it. And we're like, but you know what?
CPS. Yeah. CPS called Daisy because they found Benjamin just sitting in some house by himself. Because he doesn't know anything. Because he's a little kid now. He doesn't remember. He has dementia, but he's a little kid. So, like, he had wrote his whole life down. So CPS found the book and called her. But in my head, I was like, isn't she married and has a whole child? But now she's living in the nurse.
No, he had died.
Home? Okay, see, I didn't see that part.
She says, right after Roger had died, I got a phone call. And
okay.
But also,
she's going to take care of her. Right.
Because, like, I mean, you can kind of get the idea from the movie that they had a weird relationship.
That, and probably by that time she was already older and left.
Yeah, like, I think they must have had a weird relationship or something. But
because now, like, yeah, by the time like Benjamin, like, you know, his baby, Benjamin dies. If anybody is wondering, Benjamin does die.
He does die, yes. Yeah. As a baby
in Daisy's arms. By that time, Daisy's already older, so like she's not worrying about her daughter, you know. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, so like Daisy goes to the nursing home, moves into the nursing home to take care of Benjamin until like he's younger and younger. But the montage that makes me mad is that he keeps getting younger and younger, but I don't know how long it is. Like, how did he go from being 17 to 7?
Right.
How?
Right. How long was this? Exactly. Yeah. Like,
how long did it take for him to morph into a toddler? And then it got to the point that he was a baby. He couldn't walk anymore. Like, he couldn't talk anymore. And then it was like he was a literal baby. Like, he was born.
Yeah. He was over here afraid. He's like, I was upset because I'm like, he left because he was afraid that she wouldn't have to take care of 2 kids.
Yeah.
But she ended up doing that anyway. I was like,
well, that was out of her own heart. She didn't have to do that.
Well, yeah.
Know? And she told him, she was like, you're right, Benjamin. I wouldn't be able to take care of 2 kids.
I was like,
and she was just hurt. She was just hurt.
Yeah, but I was just like, if he would have just stayed, they could have had, you know, a good, you know, loving relationship until the time that he wasn't able to take care of himself. His daughter would have understood his situation or whatever. Yeah. Like, would have, you know, yes, would it be difficult? Yes, because, you know, she wouldn't have a father. But it is what it is.
Then her daughter finds out while her mom's dying in a hotel room and finds out while reading it in a book.
Yeah, and didn't even know her mom was a dancer.
Yeah.
I was like,
so like, yeah, they didn't have a good relationship then, yeah.
I was like, she owned a whole dance school and she knew that. And I'm like, but you didn't know about your mom's like dancing career? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they must have had a really bad relationship.
Montages all together. Too much.
Too much.
But what timelines don't make sense
at all. You will be so lost. Yeah. I have to watch it again just to like piece it together, like what's happening. But besides that, one of the good things about this movie though is the makeup in this movie, because when I started watching it, I thought that the old lady was a different actress. I thought it was a whole other actress
playing in the bed.
Yeah, but come to find out, it's actually Cate Blanchett with the makeup on. I was like,
yeah. I will say though, they did look real rubbery. Like every time I looked at them, it made my lips so dry. Because like they I knew that you know like, old people like with the dry lips or whatever, so they did a good job with like making them look really really old. But it got to the point that I was like, these these people are so old, they need chapstick. They just need
When you
something.
see Benjamin as a baby and he's
Yeah.
old, like in the beginning, like
Yeah. No
that was a lot
hair.
for me.
They just look real rubbery. They do. But the makeup is so good because they do look really old.
Yeah, like they
The
even
only
like look
makeup,
wrinkly and stuff. I'm like, how did
yeah,
he? How?
only makeup that made me mad was Benjamin's dad. Because it literally just looked like as Benjamin's dad got older, it just they just added just just saggy skin. Like they didn't do
Yeah,
anything to make his eyes look older. They didn't add any wrinkles. They just added more bags of skin. Like that.
true.
That I was just like, he doesn't look old enough to be dying.
They got lazy. They were like, you know what? We've been doing makeup for every single person.
Yeah, and like his hair wasn't even white or anything.
Yeah. So like
It
when
was just
yeah, I
saggy
was
skin.
so another plot hole, another one. I was so confused when so like the dad tells Benjamin, I'm your dad, right? And then Benjamin gets mad, he comes home, tells Queenie about it, she's like fussing about it. She's like, how dare he?
Yeah,
What does he think he is? And then he walks out of the room, which I would believe is the same night that he found out, right? That's what I
yeah.
would think. He walks out of the room mid, like she's mid, like upset or whatever. He
Here
goes
he goes.
up.
Good night, mama.
He's like, "Good night. I can't." He goes upstairs to go to his room and like stops, right? Like he's about to do something. So he that same night, I guess, or maybe the next morning, I don't know, goes to see his dad or
Yeah,
whatever and like brings him to go watch a sunset or sunrise or something.
yeah,
And I guess the dad dies. This is like, I'm like, does he die the same day? Like, what happened? Like, I was that, because then, like you said, they didn't do the makeup. So, like, I didn't know, like, how old was he? Like, was he actually, because I know he got sick. So he could have also still been really young, possibly.
true, true, true.
But
But
I was
no,
so
because by
lost.
that time Benjamin's already like 40 something, and you know, like
Right.
his
So the
dad
dad
should have
should
been
be,
way older.
yeah, like he should have been already like, maybe late 60s, maybe early 70s. Like, but I was like, you mean to
Yeah.
tell me
Also,
this is
like,
him?
why did Benjamin go see? Why did Benjamin go take him to see a sunset or a sunrise? Like, randomly says, "Come on," and picks this man up out of bed and like just carries him over his shoulder and just
The
places him
whole
down on the
way.
bench.
No
And
word.
like no words
Didn't
are
say a
said.
word.
Benjamin sits behind his dad and just lets his dad look at the sunset. And then the next scene, all you see is his dad's shoes, and like they're putting buttons in a mason jar and placing it on his dad's chest while his dad's just like this. I was
Yeah.
like, so he's dead? So he died. Okay.
I was
Okay.
like, I
Okay.
was so lost there. I was like, so how long after is this? Like I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening anymore. Like so
But other than that, the makeup was really good.
the makeup was on point. Benjamin's makeup
Yeah.
was real good. The mom too, they did a good job with Queenie's makeup. So like
Yes, she
the
did look
makeup
really old at the
artist
end.
did a great job.
Yeah.
But this movie will confuse the heck out of you. When it says the curious case of Benjamin Button, it
It is.
really is the curious case. You're just like,
If it was shorter, it would be a good movie.
yeah,
If the movie was shorter and didn't have as many montages and plot holes, it would be good.
yeah.
You know,
They could
and
have
like even
tightened it
like
up a
if
little
it
bit.
was shorter, and still had the montages, it'd be good.
Yeah.
Because like it wouldn't be like I'm sitting here so long to piece things together. Like how? Like I had 3 hours to figure out stuff, and I still didn't figure it out at the end.
Because the
If the movie was
montage is
shorter.
supposed to like move you through time, through like a series of pictures. So like I feel like they could have used the montages for that. It would have been way more effective and then also tightened up the story, like,
Yeah.
okay, so here, they fall in love. And now here's the montage of their love story. Bum, bum, bum. They keep going.
Yeah.
And then they get to the part where he's like, I don't think I can stay or something. Like he has that moment or something. But I'm like, but a random montage for something that you already explained to me. Like, I already know what happened. I don't need the extra montage.
Yeah.
So, like, listen, F. Scott Fitzgerald knew what he was talking about when he only made it 30-something pages long.
Yeah.
He knew. Also, side note, when I decided to read the first couple of pages of this short story yesterday because I was like, I just want to know like how, you know, they set it up. So like, you know how in the movie it starts off with the dad goes in, well, they have the whole the Daisy is explaining the story. So that's how it starts. But when she starts talking about Benjamin's story, they go into the birth, right?
Yeah.
But in the book, first of all, it does not start with Daisy talking about the whole story. She's not on her deathbed giving the narration of the story. Okay. The book starts off with the birth. So
it's not Daisy telling the story then.
No, it just starts right from Benjamin's story. So like I guess you find out about Daisy along the way, but they don't set it up that way. So like weird. You have but in the book, I was like, I kind of wish they would have done this in the movie. The dad is like waiting outside, and you know, obviously waiting for the birth to happen. And when he comes back, like I guess he meets up with the doctor or something, because you know how he's trying to get through the streets to get there. So when he gets there, the doctor's already leaving the house.
Yeah,
the birth already happened, but the doctor will not tell him what happened. Like he will not talk to him. The doctor's just pissed. He's pissed off that he would even have called him for such a birth. Right? He's like, you know, this is gonna ruin my whole reputation. You know, as a doctor, no one's gonna call me after this. And he's like, you know, I don't want you to ever call me for your family ever again. He's like, I've been your doctor for years for your family, but after this disrespect, basically, I don't ever call me ever again. And the dad is like, what are you talking about? Like he doesn't know what's happening. He's like, did something happen? Like what's wrong? Like this is like you hear what's going on in the dad's head.
Yeah.
In the book, like he's like, why is he so angry? Like what is happening? And the nurse, same thing. The nurse, like he goes to the nurse and he's like, oh, I'm Mr. Button. And the nurse has a whole freak out moment. She's like, you know, oh my goodness, like she starts like reacting like in fear or whatever. Like, so I'm like, this could have been such a great setup for this movie. Like, like the whole confusion of like why they're freaking out. Like, it could have gone a whole different way. I think like it could have been way more suspenseful, I think. And like he doesn't know.
That's not even how the movie started with Daisy. That's not how it started. It starts off with the random family back in the day.
Yes.
It doesn't start with Daisy explaining the story like in the book. It starts with this old family back in the day that there's one blind man and his wife, and like they have a son. The son goes off and dies. The father becomes so depressed that he creates a clock. The clock gets put up in a train station, but the clock goes backwards. That's how the movie starts. And I was like, how does that correlate to Benjamin?
Right. And like the way that you started this podcast was like, why was he the only one that was affected?
Yeah. Like, why was he the one that was affected by this clock? Everybody's going through the same amount, like the same time. And Benjamin was the only baby affected by the backwards clock. And like it would make sense if like it had to do with like maybe Benjamin's dad created, but no, it was this random family that created the clock, and Benjamin was affected by it. That's what doesn't make sense to me.
I literally had to rewind it to the beginning again to that part because I was like, wait, did I miss? Like, was this his grandfather or something? Like maybe that's what happened. Maybe his grandfather made this. No.
It's just a random family who's created a clock, and then years later, Benjamin is born and is affected by the clock. I don't get it. I don't get why.
Like, anyway.
Go watch the movie.
Yes,
watch a movie for yourself.
I would suggest
half schedule.
Yeah, like I suggest you watch this movie. It's interesting. It's interesting, but it will make you mad, and a lot of people like it. That's why we decided to do it, because it is a popular movie. We just don't vibe with it.
Sorry.
But we will be continuing these. They might be over Zoom for the future. Hopefully we'll be able to do a few.
She do be living far from me sometimes, y'all.
I live like an hour and a half away, guys. So
I also don't have a car. Like, I can't drive my car because miles and all that. And my mom took her car today. But technology.
So things happen. It happens.
Yeah.
But but I want to continue it. I want to be consistent. So we're just gonna use Zoom. Yeah. It's fine. It's the same thing. We're still talking about it. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Rebecca, for doing this. We will have more. So the plan is to do these like every other week. So this Thursday, that should be the 18th, I believe. This should be the one that we post up. And if you like it, please subscribe and follow. We will have many more to come.
Share it.
Yeah, please share it with your friends. Let them know if you have any ideas, movies you want us to talk about, or movies that you may not like, or something. Let us know.
Grilled cheese recipes you want Erica to try. Yes.
I will try them, and I will try not to burn them. Any suggestions you have on how to make a good grilled cheese, please let me know, and we will go for it. Okay. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys very soon. Bye.
Here we go. Oh, that's really good. Snap out of it and get me some more coffee. Ladies and gentlemen,